Hello again. Samskaras, or deep impressions. We've talked about consciousness, which we're calling center of consciousness, because as we talk about this, we have the concept of this being a me, and the consciousness is somewhere deep inside in the center of my being. It's actually consciousness itself, but we call it center of consciousness because it appears to be in the center of all of the levels of me. So that consciousness moves outward, and because of avidya, the ability to set aside the awareness of the infinite ocean of consciousness, now I get to be an individual, and as an individual I function with primitive urges, primitive fountains. The next stage of what happens is, because of experiences out there in the world, those experiences come into my memory and form what are called samskaras. In yogic language, there's another word, vrittis, and vrittis simply means impressions, is the easiest way to hold it. What you and I know commonly as memories. Anything we see something out there, it comes in, however that works, through the brain, through optic nerves, and we see it and we have a memory of that. Some of the things that we remember we really find pleasureful. Maybe it's a food, or it's some attractive scenery, or it's the sound of music, and that comes in to my memory. I have a memory of it, and it is colored. Think of the word colored. It's colored with attraction or aversion primarily. I like this food. I like that movie. I like that music. I like that person. And so what happens to my memory trace of that person? It is, so to speak, colored. The word for that that's fancy is klesha or klishta, coloring. So it becomes a klishta vritti. Vritti is a thought wave, a memory in the mind. And if it's colored, it's called a klishta vritti. That makes it a samskara. This section is about samskaras. And so samskaras are simply colored memory traces that are colored with attraction or aversion. I had that other food and it was really yucky. Or I met that other person and I thought he was not a nice person. And so I have an aversion to that person. And we all have these examples. And so it may be colored with I like, or it may be colored with I don't like. But the important point here is that it's not neutral. We have many, 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 many memories that are basically neutral. But some of those memories are colored with I like, and some of them are colored with I don't like. Some of them are colored as me, and some of them are colored as you. I am here and you are there. Or I am me, but I is saying the same thing in a slightly different way. I am me, and therefore I am not you. I am one of these people from this group or this family or this club or this company or this identity, and I am not of that other identity or that other family or that other group. And these can be samskaras. They define what I like and what I don't like. They define what is me and what is not me. And they also define what is mine, M-I-N-E, mine. This is my thing. This is my house. This is my car. These are my children. Those are not my children. Those are your children. These are my children. This is my family, my country, my opinions. So we have experiences that I like and I don't like. We have things that are me and that are not me. We have memory traces that are mine or not mine. And all of these are samskaras. Notice that sometimes you and I, at the end of the day, we go to bed and we go to sleep. We lay our head down in the pillow and we go asleep, and we are inactive. Well, guess what? Samskaras do exactly the same thing, only they don't have to go to sleep for the night. Sometimes samskaras are active, sometimes they're inactive. They're taking a nap, they're asleep. You're walking down the street, you're in a shopping area, and all of a sudden you smell a scent coming through the air of some food. It catches your attention. What happens when you smell that scent? It goes back to your unconscious mind, and that samskara about that food that I like gets awakened. That samskara awakens, it comes to life, and then I say, let's go get a whatever it was that I just smelled. I'm remembering as I say that there used to be a company that had cinnamon buns in shopping areas, and you could smell the cooking cinnamon at a long distance, and you'd smell that, and it just sort of pulls you in. So it's not just that there's the scent in the air, or you see something that reminds you of something else. You see a person who reminds you of a friend, and you call your friend up and say, "Hi, I was just thinking of you." So the samskara comes to life. And when it's not active, it goes back into latent form. Most of our samskaras, most of the time, are in latent form. They're not active until something in the external world or in our thinking creative mind causes it to come to life, and it awakens. This is the nature of samskaras. An important point here with samskaras that is absolutely essential to remember is, this is a playful way of saying it, we in the West have imported into our language the word karma, but very often we have forgotten to import the word samskara to go with it. The word samskara and the word karma go together. If we don't use the word samskara or the principle along with the word karma, we can accidentally think that this whole discussion of karma has to do with something punitive. It's something bad that is happening to me because I've done something wrong and I'm being penalized. And so we end up with language say, I have good karma and I have bad karma. And that's a boo-boo. Good karma in that way of thinking is pleasurable things are happening to me, therefore it's good karma. And painful things are happening to me, therefore it's bad karma. That's not what's going on. What happens is, what's more important is that the samskara itself is colored with attraction or aversion, me or not me, mine and not mine. And then there's naturally a response to that. And then the action that plays out from us in response to that samskara, that's the karma. So actions called karma are triggered by deep impressions, by mental habit patterns, by memories that are called samskaras. That's very important to keep in mind. Okay, so samskaras. Just briefly again, consciousness operates outward. Because of avidya, we forget the consciousness. Then there are primitive urges. Predominantly self-preservation is the big one. And now we're starting to define that self. The self, the me, my personality is defined by the totality of all of these and all of these and all of the me concepts and all of the mind concepts. Those define me. Conscious moves outward, forgets its consciousness. That's avidya. There's primitive urges, and now there's identities called samskaras, and that defines me. Okay?